Good afternoon, UJ MethSsoc. Good afternoon, Reverend Zombe. Good afternoon to every UJ MethSsoc member. My name is Sister Mpho Qamakwane, and I was asked by Sister Budelwa to do a short video just explaining my journey throughout varsity, the challenges that I came across, and how I overcame those challenges. So I'm going to try to keep this short as possible and try to touch on every point as much as I can. So I studied multimedia, which is a bachelor's in art. I have a national diploma in multimedia and a bachelor's of technology in multimedia, which is honors essentially. And I am currently doing my master's in multimedia at UJ. So when I started in 2015, it was quite hard because at that time I didn't have any financial assistance, I didn't have any bursary, so it was just going head in first. It was quite difficult because with many art courses, well, I study under the Faculty of Art, Design and Architecture. With any courses under the faculty, it's quite expensive. The equipment, everything you need is expensive, guys. I don't even want to sugarcoat it. It's very expensive to maintain the art student life. So when I started, I didn't have any bursaries or anything like that, so I had to pay for my accommodation. My mom had to pay for my accommodation. So with that being said, at the end of the month we had less money for me to cover my other stuff. And with what helped me get through university, I don't want to lie, it's mostly my friends. So I understand people usually say that you have to be your own person, you have to be firm, you have to stand your ground when you get to university. But the friends you make in varsity play an important role to how you turn out and how your experience through varsity is. So the type of friends I made in my first year played a huge role in my studies, because it would get to a point whereby you're like, Ejo, I don't have money to buy a mountain board for this project. Ejo, I don't have money to buy ink for the project, or I don't have 1, 2, 3. And as much as we all came from the same background, we didn't have much, but we tried to pull through for each other. Because in the first year, we essentially don't have like lecture halls or anything like that. We have labs, computer labs. So father tends to take small portions of first years. I don't think they take anything more than 100 first years. So we go to we attend classes in labs, and we are in smaller groups. And for us at that time, this particular course was very white dominated, so you had to compete against your white, and they have the money, they have the resources. So we were 1/3 of blacks, and a lot of the blacks constituted of a lot of guys, not a lot of girls. So it was also quite a hard space, because you have to fight your financial background and also fight privileges that other children in your class have that you don't have. But come push or shove, we overcame our first year, and we then went to second year. And second year, things got quite better, because I then got NSFAS, and although it was not a lot, it only covered my accommodation and my fees, but at least we didn't have that other financial burden of having to pay for my accommodation and having to pay for my fees and everything like that. So the pressure was a bit less in my second year. So then third year was also quite not bad, because I still had funding in my third year. And the thing about my course is that it's both video and interactive design. So basically interactive design is your programming, your app development and all of that. So when you get to second year, the end of second year, you get to choose what you're going to major in. It's either you're going to major in video, which is essentially photography, videography and all of that, or you choose and go to major into interactive design, which is programming, it's app development, sorry about that. And then when I got to my second year, I chose to do interactive design, which was a shock from my friends, because initially from first year I was like, I'm gonna do video, I'm gonna be a director, I'm gonna be all of that, I'm gonna do video. But then when I got to my second year, I chose interactive design, which I do not regret. I do not regret ever choosing interactive design, because I am a user experience designer today. I design app, I program, essentially I'm a cyborg. So I ventured out into interactive design. So when you get to your second year and third year, you don't do anything that's tangible. You tend to do more of stuff on your computer, so you deliver soft copies of your assignment, and things got better in my second year and third year because of the cost of having to buy stuff like mounting boards, buying your art utilities was very less in second year and third year. So when I got to my third year, I did interactive design, and in interactive design essentially is programming and app development. So that's when I started excelling. I started pouring my heart into my course in third year. I don't know why, if it's the mentality that changed or I was a bit mature, but I feel like in second year I was fighting so many demons that it essentially reflected on my marks. Although I was working hard and working my ass off, it wasn't so great. But in third year, things started picking up. I started taking my studies more seriously, and I started being focused, and I started wanting to excel better. I started wanting to be a better designer. I started wanting to be just better myself. So in third year, I also had funding. And third year, I think most final years are hard, guys. Are hard. In my third year, I would sleep at the study center. I don't think there's anyone in varsity that hasn't slept at the UG study center. If you say you haven't slept at the study center, please give me your numbers, because I don't think there's anyone that hasn't slept at the study center, because go rough, guys, at varsity. It's rough. I think you need very good time management skills to get through university, and we all know that we do not have such as Black people. We do not have time management skills. So I think you need to hardwire that into yourself if you want to get through university, or you're going to end up sleeping at the study center the whole week, not getting enough sleep. And the thing about our course is that our classes run for like 3-4 hours, because we are a smaller group. So imagine you slept at the study center, you go to raise, you shower, you come back, and you attend a 4-hour class. You're not going to hear anything. So essentially, you have to hardwire your time management skill, which is something that I didn't have, but working on it now. So I used to sleep at the study center in my third year to get stuff done, because you get like 4 or 5 projects at a time. And the thing with our course is that when you tell people from other faculties that, oh no, our faculty, we don't write exams, they're like, whoa, why didn't I choose a course in your faculty? Semester tests and exams are so hard. Guys, it's not nice studying a Bachelor's of Art degree. It doesn't make it any less fun if you're not writing exams, but the thing is that every project counts. So you have to pour your soul in every project that you do, from Feb when the varsity opens until November when you're done with all the projects, because every tiny project counts. And the thing about our courses is that it's our year courses. So if you fail one module, you're essentially blocked for next year. You can't make it up the next semester. So it's hard to pour your heart and soul into every project you do, because remember that it counts a portion of your year-end mark. So although we don't write exams, it's hard. It's not fun. It's not, yay, no exams. It's still hard. You have to work your ass off. You have to submit your projects. You have to put in 150%, or in fact 1000% into projects. So third year was not bad either. Still had the same friends from first year, still pushing. And the thing that was a bit of a challenge in my third year is that a few of my friends failed in their first year, so they were a year behind me. When I got to third year, I was the only Black girl in my course. So you can imagine the pressure of having to achieve, having to not be a failure, having to set the pace for all the first years that were coming behind me. And at the time, there was also a girl called Mpho who was doing her master's. And she was also the only black girl. So I looked up to her so much because I was like, if Mpho can do it, what's stopping me? Why am I using the color of my skin as a barrier? Why not show these people that I actually can do this? So when I got to my third year, I worked hard. And that's when I managed to get like an average percent of like 70 something, which was very good. Imagine if I had put all the work from first year until third year, I would probably got like cum laude, but we were there, I can't. So yeah, and I passed my third year, and then I felt like I was not ready to go into the work environment. So I was like, no what, let me just come back for my BTech. Applied for my BTech, got accepted, and came back for my honors. And in my honors, I used to work for the faculty. We like, our department has a office whereby we lend equipment to students. We lend out cameras, we lend out drones, we lend out sound equipment, we lend out all the equipment that you students need to submit projects and all of that. So I worked in that office, and I also juggled my studies at the same time. And third year it got better, although I got a bursary from UPS in my fourth year. But although I had the bursary from UPS, it only covered my fees, and I had to pay for my raise and make sure that I had food. So the money that I made from the faculty at least helped me and my mom to cover my accommodation, and I still had a bit left to cover all the stuff that I need as a student. But also in your fourth year, everything you submit is digitally. You don't have to, although you have to pay for like your poster printouts. The faculty usually subsidizes that, and you pay probably like 50 Rand or 100 Rand. If a printing paper costs 400, the varsity will subsidize that, and you would pay 50 Rand, and the varsity will pay more, the remainder. So I was working, and my fourth year was also not difficult, but I think I could have done better. I also left things until the last minute, and there was so much pressure in my fourth year that I would crumble. But I think there was a reason why I joined MethSsoc so late, because I only knew about MethSsoc in my fourth year. After the second semester, this guy came to the office and he was wearing the UJ MethSsoc jersey, and I'm like, what is that? He's like, it's our student society. I'm like, explain to me what happens to MethSsoc. And then he explained to me, for no, we a movement for the students. We do everything that we do at church, but we still understand that as students, you don't have the financial help, and we just family away from home. And I'm like, because MethSsoc began on Fridays, I'm like, no, dude, and then let's go see what's happening on MethSsoc. He actually came to fetch me. He's like, I'm not going to hear anything from Ria MethSsoc. And closed the office, MethSsoc. And when I got there, it was so heartwarming. I felt like home. It was so nice. Everyone was welcoming. They were like, who are you? Where are you from? Second their house. Synod, who's your bishop? All of that. I felt so welcome that on the same Friday, MethSsoc, I think MethSsoc was having a revival. And one of the brothers was like, let's go. You don't have any plans the Friday. Let's go to this revival. I'm like, dude, I only came I can't go to a revival like this. He was like, no problem. Go back to race and then come back. I actually went back to race, came back, we went to the revival. It was so nice that from that day onwards, I started being a full member of the MethSsoc. I attended every event that the MethSsoc had. I was devoted to MethSsoc after that, and it helped me so much, because I think we tend to be so consumed into the physical space and being consumed with our studies so much that it became nice to just move away from the studies and be involved in something that taps into your spirituality, and be in a place where you feel like you're at home, be in a place where you you praise God, you worship God, you sing with your sisters and brothers, and it was just so nice to be part of the movement. We did so many things. We uplifted each other. It was just so nice. So I would encourage that the movement showcases they self in other campuses, because I was in Banton and they were more active in APK and I didn't know about the movement. Had they came to our campus, I would have joined earlier. So I think that was something that was lacking in the MethSsoc then. But I don't regret meeting MethSsoc at that point, because at that point I was crumbling academically. But as soon as I tapped into my spirituality, things started being different, and I was able to move from a downhill to an uphill, and I finished my honors. And yeah, 2019 I started working, and it's been nice so far, having your own money, having not to ask anyone. And yeah, this year I decided to go back and do my master's. So I am currently doing my master's. This is my first year in my master's. Yeah, but because of COVID, my master's might be delayed. But yeah, I'm doing my master's this year. So one of the last things I just want to say is that it's possible. Like, although you might be facing a lot of challenges, just know which side your bread is buttered. Just keep your eyes on the ball and make sure that you always remember the reason why you're doing it. If you are in alignment with your why, you will not fail. And if you put God at the center of everything that you do in university, you will not fail. There are people who have had far worse experience at university but still have made it. So use every opportunity at your disposal. Just make sure that you thrive in everything you do and put God at the center of everything you do. Thank you.